Welcome back to the kitchen, guys. Who wants to make sweet potato biscuits? So I just drained off a quart of my sweet potatoes. It's still sitting here just draining to get some of that extra liquid out. And we are going to be doing our pork. So we raised 2 Idaho pasture pigs this year, and we got all that pork back. We shared that with you guys, but today we're actually going to do a taste test and kind of a cost breakdown. So for that, I want to be able to have lunch. So I'm going to make some sweet potato biscuits to go with our ham steaks, and I think that's 4 cups. I'm putting in 2 cups. I'm putting in 3 cups of flour to start with. If I need another half a cup, I will. I'm going to add in 3 heaping tablespoons of baking powder. Probably a good teaspoon of salt. Get this stirred together. Okay, while the sweet potatoes are still draining, I'm going to get 6 tablespoons of cold butter. And I'm going to dice that. You could definitely shred this. I get that comment every single time I make biscuits, but cubing it and throwing it in the flour is just the way I've always done it. Change is hard for some people, right? And I don't have to dirty my grater dish, and that's not the funnest thing to clean. So I'm going to just cube my butter into small pieces, and then I'll work it into the flour until I get like a coarse crumble. But stick around because I can't wait to share with you how that meat is cooking up. We've already had one of our packages of bacon, and it is so good. I did a recipe. I'm trying to get just expand all my horizons using my pantry goodies that I preserve and kind of think outside of the box. And I made sweet potato gnocchi the other day using a quart of my home canned sweet potatoes and just, some flour, some ricotta cheese, and mix that all together until I got little, pierogi balls, and it turned out so good. And then what did I do next? I sauteed up some pickled onions and garlic, kind of like a caramelized fashion, and with just some butter, and then added a bunch of my frozen broccoli greens in there until they wilted down. And then I topped it with a pint of my carrot soup and some more ricotta cheese just to give it a creaminess, and use that as the topping to my sweet potato gnocchi. Oh, y'all, it was good. It will go on the rotation for sure. And sweet potato, if you have never made homemade gnocchi before, it's a great thing to do with leftover sweet potatoes if you have them, leftover mashed potatoes. It's just a great, of course, not necessarily the healthiest, but sometimes fun is worth it. Deliciousness. So I'm just cutting in this butter into the flour real quick, and then we will mix together our sweet potatoes and milk and get those added in. So after draining my quart of sweet potatoes, I still have just a little bit of liquid. Whoops. It's definitely worth just taking that extra minute while you work your flour to get any extra juice off. So let me drain this and then I'll be right back. So the recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of mashed sweet potatoes. This is going to be more than that, so whatever I have extra I'll just throw in the fridge and use at a later time. So unlike canning white potatoes, sweet potatoes will not hold their form. Their primary purpose after you can them will be used as mashed or pureed sweet potatoes, either just as mashed sweet potatoes or in recipes. But sweet potatoes are an excellent storage potato if you want the form. I've stored them up here in my Michigan basement well over a year just fine. Okay, so a quart of sweet potatoes is probably right at a cup. Let's see, I can't tell where I'm at. Nope. It's probably a cup and a half, so I'm gonna just take out a half cup. I should take out 3/4 of a cup, right? Cup and a half plus or 3/4 plus 3/4 is a cup and a half. So I just need 3/4 cup. All right. Now to that we're gonna add milk. And I forget how much milk, but we'll start with a half a cup and see how we go. Now you could use buttermilk, you could use regular milk. Okay, I'm going to add that now to my dry mix. You know what's missing from here? A little bit of sugar. Just not much, just like maybe 2 teaspoons or so. Let's get this incorporated and see where we're at. Okay, that's really dry, so we're gonna need a little bit more milk. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more sweet potato. Okay, that's looking like some good biscuit dough. Alrighty. We're gonna get these rolled out. There is one thing I do use. You guys have heard me talk a lot about rolling out things like pie crust and cookies, and choosing not to use a floured surface because I don't want it to take away from, you know, the flavor and be overly floured. Biscuits is one of those things where I do not exactly follow that rule of practice anyway. So you want, if you're new to making biscuits, you want to start with a pretty wet dough, because you don't ever want to overwork your biscuit dough. So it's better to always just add flour as you go. Okay, let's get that rolled out. Okay. One more time. I'm going probably just under an inch. All right, time to get those cut. Let me go wash my hands real quick just so I can handle my pan, and I'll be right back. Just flour my biscuit cutter, and then we'll cut out our biscuits. Another tip on making homemade biscuits, don't twist your cutter, especially when you do, so this is twisting. You won't get, you're gonna seal the edges, and you could potentially hinder how fluffy your biscuits rise. So just push down your biscuit cutter. So I'm already picturing for lunch, guys, I'm gonna make a little ham sandwich with my sweet potato biscuits. Yes, please. Okay, so this pan is all cut and ready. And not used to biscuit recipes making more than what fits on my pan, so I'm going to continue cutting these. I'll just use my cast iron skillet for the other. But this flat circle griddle is by far my favorite for making biscuits on. We have another one, but it's up at the cabin. All right, so I need to scoop this back up and gently fold it together to roll it back out. When I have a little bit left over, this is just what I like to do to wrap it up. I kind of more roll it like a roll. Okay, and that can go right in the middle. All right, so now that pan's ready. I'm just gonna brush them with some butter, and then we will get them in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. Alrighty guys, they are done. I chose not to butter them before I put them in the oven so I could butter them after I got them out, so I just buttered these. You know those look good, I can't wait to eat them. So now I'm gonna butter these. And of course Todd and I can't eat all of this, so once these cool I will take them out and we will vacuum seal them and throw them down in the freezer and pull them out for, you know, dinners or breakfast or whatever. So they did definitely take every bit of the 30 minutes to cook. Normal biscuits, you know, 425, I think I cook them for 15 minutes. So these cook a little bit differently. Don't those look great? Ouch. So we are about to sit down, and now I'm going to, just to tell you how I'm going to eat them. I'm going to slice one open, put some honey butter on it, a piece of my brand new smoked ham, and have a little sandwich. I can't wait. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for coming in my kitchen again. Bye guys.